Good morning, everyone. Happy Thursday. Hi, Barb. How are ya? Hi, Jean. Jean. Let me, I've got it right here. What did I do with it? Oh, right here. I have to show you all something that Jean sent to me by surprise. She sent me the Christmas quilt with dies. Isn't that so awesome? This is a bundle that I never thought I would ever own because, well, number one, it's retired. I'm sure it's very popular. And I came back to using Stampin' Up products after this was offered. So, Jean, thank you so much. I just love it. Love it, love it. I wanted to show everybody. I meant to show it last week and I forgot. You have that, Stephanie? Oh my goodness, I can't wait to play with it. I was gifted a pack of the designer series paper that I think matches this bundle. It had like the quilt patterns and stuff on it. Doris had gifted that to me. So now I've got like the whole set and I can't wait to play. So hi, Stephanie and Linda and Peggy. Good morning, everybody. Hi, Vesta. I'm so glad you guys are here with me this morning. It's rather exciting because Card Play, the online retreat that I'm doing with Karen Titus, Holly Sutton, and Deb, starts tomorrow night. So it's tomorrow night, all day Saturday. And you can find more information about it on the Chirpy page. There's still time for you to join in on the retreat. You can purchase the online option only, but once you're in the group, you'll be able to download 24 PDFs. We'll be doing 12 Facebook Lives. Karen's got lots of prizes to give away, and it's just a lot of fun to be inspired. So look for that information on my page, and you can fill out a Google form if you're interested in participating and shoot that over to me, and I'll be checking periodically through the day to catch anyone who's signing up at the last minute and getting that taken care of for you. So, hi, Linda. Hey, Linda B. Okay, so really not a whole lot, not a whole lot as far as like Stampin' Up news. I could be out of the loop. I don't know. I've been so busy getting ready for Card Play, and then I've got the next Barn Quilt Block of the Month kit design, so I was busy doing that. And it's just been kind of crazy. So I'm going to flip the camera around, and you guys know the drill. While I'm doing that, please greet each other, say good morning, and it just takes me a few seconds to switch some things around, and then we'll get started. I hope I never make anybody too dizzy when I flip that camera up, because it looks like it goes pretty fast and could be giving a few people some motion sickness. I hope not. Okay, just one more thing to move around, and then we'll be ready to go. Okay, good. Now I can see comments really good. I can see if, let's move this over a little bit. Okay. Hopefully I'm not too crooked. Okay. Oh, Peggy's at Chick-fil-A. Oh my goodness, I love their waffle fries. Okay. Oh, Stephanie, you've been cleaning bathrooms. Isn't that like, I don't know, out of all the rooms in the house, that's like not, that's my least favorite room to clean. uh, okay. So I was inspired by a quilt. I've had it pinned in Pinterest for the longest time, but it was a Scrappy quilt that had these rows of scrappy fabrics, and at the top of the quilt she had hand appliqued like a garden, and then her rows of fabric were underneath that. So that was my inspiration, because we've gotten some new stamp sets that have florals, or like stems and leaves and flowers, and I thought it would be a good opportunity that I could do some stamping to mimic her applique flowers, and I can also be working with scraps of DSP that's been left over from other projects. So I'm going to show you my prototype, and then I'm going to show you the light bulb moment. And I had to, excuse me, go back because I felt like it really stepped up the card. But I like the card either way. But anyway, okay, so here's my prototype. And she had across the top all of these applique flowers, and then she had all her rows of fabric. So that was my inspiration. Again, I get to do some stamping, and I get to work with some DSP. So as I was looking at this, the light bulb went off, and I thought, oh my goodness, wouldn't this look better if it looked like it had scalloped edges, like some scalloped binding instead of a straight edge? Excuse me. Well, I couldn't make the scallops, the binding, make it look like binding, but what I did was I dug into my, where is it? Oh, the Scalloped and Contour bundle has all of these like framed dies that have scalloped edges. So I thought, oh, wouldn't that look cute? So I was up late, and here's a version. What I like about the second version is it shows a lot more of my matte layer. Okay, and just the stitching, everything about it, I like both of them. Don't get me wrong, I like both of them, but making that one little change changed the whole look and feel of the card. I feel like it stepped it up. Now, we're going to cut down the basic white that I had you cut if you're working along with me, because what I want to show you is, if you don't have this die, we're going to cut our basic white down to about this size so that you can see more of your layer underneath. And I just want to see what it's going to look like. So yesterday, when I wasn't sure which bundle I was going to work with, or this and that, I thought, you know what, let's stick with, this is the Be Mine Designer Series paper, and the stamps, the flower stamps that come with that bundle. But what I want to do is I want to see what this looks like, which is straight edge in the center, so that we get a really good idea of the difference these things make. Okay? So, and then I've got a lot of samples to show you, because then I went to several different stamp sets. I think I worked with 5 different stamp sets, and I listed them in the cutting instructions yesterday. So I want to show you what they look like with different Designer Series paper too. So, the first thing that we're going to do, I had you cut 2 3 3/4 by 5-inch pieces of basic white. You're going to keep one of those as is, okay? But let's take the other one and let's cut it down. You're going to want to make note of this measurement, okay? We're going to cut it down. Instead of 3 3/4, we're going to cut it down to 3 1/8. I know it seems like we're going to be taking a lot off, but it's going to get us closer to this width right here. And it's 3 1/8 from scallop to scallop. So let's cut this down to 3 1/8. And then the other measurement, we're going to turn it and we're going to cut it down to 4 1/2. I apologize when these light bulb moments go off, and I don't mean to change things like at the last minute, but it happens every Wednesday night when I'm getting ready for a Thursday live. More ideas pop into my head. So I apologize. So hi Julia and hi Jean. Thanks for sharing. So yeah, it's part of the fun, right? At least I didn't have to, we cut down a size. We didn't have to bring out another piece of paper because we needed to make it bigger. So this is the piece that we're going to stamp on. Now, the one thing I want to do is I want to determine my top here that we're going to leave white. And I came down, I'm going to turn my paper so that the long side is across the top. And on my grid paper, I'm going to come down 1 3/4. So I just counted, each one of these little squares is 1/4 inch. So I counted over to 7 and I drew a line because I'm going to just place my cardstock, and I'm just going to use this line and I'm just going to eyeball it. It doesn't have to be perfect. What I want to know is I don't want any designer series paper on this end. All of that goes here. Okay, so I'm just marking out where I don't want to put designer series paper, and I know where I'm going to stamp. So let's do our stamping. I'm going to do some stamping on the outside and the inside of the card. So I'm using the flowers and stems from the Be Mine bundle. Here are my leaves and stems, and I'm going to use these 2 flowers right here. And I'm going to do the stems first, and I'm going to do them in Lemon Lime Twist. I love the colors in this designer series paper. It's so bright and happy. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, and in order to make the flowers of different heights, I can stamp below this pencil line. Oh, I better move that. Just so that I have some different heights and things like that. So let's put that one there. And I'm just rotating my my stems and my leaves. Okay, and then on the inside, I am going to put a couple down in the corner. Okay, let's set these aside. And then we'll play with our flowers. And I'm going to be using Pool Party, Petal Pink, and Sweet Sorbet for my flowers. So I'm going to do the lightest color first, and I'm going to throw in a Petal Pink flower just somewhere, anywhere. And I think that's it. You know what? I'll put a Petal Pink on the inside. Okay, and then let's clean off this stamp. Then I'm going to go to Sweet Sorbet. Oh, I just love this color. You know what? I'm going to make that the other flower. So let's do this one right here. No rhyme and reason to where I'm stamping. Just, you know, whether that's where I like it or not. And then we'll do some Pool Party. And I'm going to bring in this little tulip looking flower. We'll put that one there and that one there. I already stamped my sentiment, so we're done with the stamping part of our card. And I was just thinking something, and now I can't remember where I was going to go with that thought, so we'll just move on. We can set our insert to the side, and I'm going to bring in my silicone mat because now we're going to take our strips, and I've got a lot of strips here because I just want to make sure that I've got some choices. And I like how some of my patterns where they landed when I was doing that second card. So I kind of want to follow that design. So we're going to glue our scraps of paper from our drawn line down to the bottom. Okay, just going to want to follow that line right there. So just I'm going to apply liquid glue right to the base, and I'm just making like a zigzag pattern, and just going to put it up to that pencil line, and I'm going to make it flush with the side of the piece of cardstock. And we want to try and stay pretty straight, so periodically lift your cardstock up and put it in front of you and just see that you're going straight, and then just alternate your scrap pieces. And let's see, I want a stripe, and I've got different widths. I've got like 5/8, I've got halves. You know, it's just depending on what you like. I think I'm just going to go with this one right here. Let's put that down. Are there any questions so far? Peggy, I keep going in and out. I do not know why. I apologize. I am not sure what that would be. Oh my goodness, there's been a lot of comments. Debbie, we're in the same world right now. Oh, that's cute. Okay, so just gonna keep going here. Now, where did my honeycomb paper go? I'm not sure which one that looks like on the flip side. Oh, here's one. This is a little wider, so this must be like one of my 3 and or my 5/8 or something. I was getting a little wonky, so I just want to make sure I'm straight. And I'm going to cover up, you know, any stamping that fell below that line. Let's see, what do I want here? Kind of like this one. Oh, but its leaves are going a different way. Okay, so maybe, not that I guess it would matter. Where's another honeycomb? Ah, here's one in my hand. Let's see if it's any better. It's not. I'm gonna go with it because I like the pop of the sweet sorbet in the flowers coming out. And honestly, is anybody gonna notice? Let's put some more here. We're almost done. Since we cut this piece of paper down, we're gonna fill it up pretty fast. Do I have a smaller one of these? I do. I didn't want that quite so wide because I want to try and fit one more there on the end. Okay, so I got room for one more. And I like this yellow gingham. So we'll put this on here. Whoops. Get up there. Okay. Yeah, that's not too bad. I want to show you when I got so excited about bringing in this die, I did not quilt the bottom part of this. We're going to quilt this one, but I like it just that nice flat look too. So that'll be up to you whether you want to do any quilting on your piece. Okay, everything's nice and flat. We're going to flip it over and we're going to trim off all of our extra here. So anything that is falling outside of your base there, just trim that off. Okay. I have been having the hardest time picking things up off of my desk. So here's it all it's all trimmed up. It looks a lot nicer than all that chaos that was going on with the tails and stuff. So what I'm going to do, let me grab my embossing folder. This is a retired folder. I don't know what it is. Just pick your favorite. It's got nice little flowers on it. That's why I used it. And I just want to quilt the fabric part of my piece here. So I'm sticking it in like this. And then I'm going to step away for just a second and run this through the machine. And I'll be right back. Okay. All right. So here's our quilting. Oh, it got a little bit up here, but you know what? I can make an adjustment when I put this focal. Where's my focal strip? Okay. It's not a focal strip, it's an accent strip. It moved when I put it through the machine, so I'm just going to place this a little bit higher than what I intended, and that will cover that up. And then I've got this nice flat white up here, and I've got my quilting below. Okay, so let's do that right now. Let's put this, I'm just going to run a small bead of the liquid glue right along the top of my strip pieces. And just going to make sure I'm pretty straight. And I'm going to give that a hold because there's a lot of bumps from the embossing. So I want to make sure that the glue has time to make contact with this flat piece of cardstock. I'm just pressing it and giving it a chance to stick. Okay. And now you can wrap your ends or you can trim them off. I've done it both ways. If you're going to use the scallop die, I don't recommend wrapping it because it just adds another thickness that it's got to cut through, so I would trim it off. And if you're going to use the scallop die, go ahead and start with the 3 3/4 by 5 inch piece of basic white. That way you've got the room to you've got the room that you can play with where you want to cut. Okay, so start with the larger piece if you're going to use the die. Here we're cutting it down just to mimic the same size. Okay, because I wanted to see what that was going to look like. And since I'm not using the die, I could wrap my ends. I like the look of that. I'm going to reach for my Scotch tape here. Just going to secure those ends with that. Okay. So there we've got our piece so far. Now, see, I wanted to see what it was going to look like without the scallops. So let's start building our card. My card base that I chose to use was a 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5.5. You can use the 5.5 by 8.5 scored at 4 1/4. I'm just going to do a top fold here. I have a 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece of designer series paper. One's for the front and I have one for the back. And I thought I would bring the bees in to make it a little bit more fun on the back. And then we will end up layering. See how I love that thicker border. Love, love, love it. I'm still partial to the scalloped edges, but I like the thicker border. And here my little sentiment says for you. So let's put these two together. And we're going to pop those up with this sentiment up with dimensionals in the end there when we get ready to embellish. The For You, this comes from the Just My Type stamp set. So now that I've got my layers, I'm going to go ahead and put the back on. Okay, so we're just going to have a nice little border all the way around. Aren't these bees just adorable? I love them. I'm going to put my button on the back while I'm working on this side. You always want to sign your quilt. Okay. And I'm going to put my insert in last because I have a thing with getting white dirty. So I am going to save that for last. Here is my layer for the front, and this is going to create my border around my quilt. Again, just make sure that you got a nice even border. My favorite color combination is any red with Pool Party. I am partial to it, and I've been using it a lot because I just love it so much. I just gravitate towards it. And, you know, Stampin' Up! Has thrown those colors at us, so why not? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue our quilt, a focal point of our quilt card right there. I love that I'm going to have 3 examples on how to do this with different sizes of my quilts and whether we've got scalloped edges or not. Okay, just give this a press. I'm going to set that aside for just a second. You know what I forgot to do? I'm going to use my dark Daffodil Delight blend. And I'm going to color in the center of my flower. You know what? I don't want that one to be yellow. Where is Sweet Sorbet? Okay, I'm going to make the center of this one red. That looks a lot better. That has a lot of contrast. That center got lost on that petal pink. Okay, so that. And you know what? I want to put a border. I'm going to go back into my scraps. And I think I'm going to find one that matches my background. And I'm going to go ahead and just put this across the bottom so that just bringing my garden to the inside of the card also. And then we'll trim it up and then we'll put this on the inside and then we're ready to embellish and our quilt card is done. So we're doing a Scrappy strip pieced quilt card. And then I want to show you all my samples. So how's everybody doing? Oh, thanks, Linda. You know what? These colors are just so happy. They definitely brighten your mood. And then we're going to put this on the inside. Isn't that cute? This I would surely think would brighten someone's day to get this card with these colors. These colors just, they're all about happy. Let's move over just a little bit. Okay. Inside, got our inside. We've got the back. We've got the front. And now I'm going to just pop up with some dimensionals my greeting. And I want to be mindful how high this layer, that little strip is, just in case. Oh, I don't mean to reach in, but I forgot to bring these out. so it's not too wonky. So I'm going to kind of like put a couple of dimensionals, and they're just going to kind of like straddle the middle just so that I can sit it over that strip and it should balance. There we go. So that pop of black really helps bring out all the colors. And now I'm going to use, these are the embellishments that come with the suite for the Be Mine. And I think, what haven't I used yet? I don't know if those white daisies, how they would, I don't know if they would really show up well. They don't show up very well on that petal pink. So I guess I'll use, what do I want to use? I'm going to go with the pool party flowers. I'm going to put one on each side of my sentiment. And then I'm going to put a larger flower so that I have my, come on you. I'm going to put him right down here on that sweet sorbet so that the pool party pops. So here is the finished card. Now, I love that I've got that extra border all the way around. The scalloped edge still is my favorite. And then here we have a larger, our quilt is much larger because we did the 3 3/4 by 5, and we've just got a very narrow border all the way across. So you can just see the difference, but also we have options so that if you don't have the die, you can see what it's going to look like with a straight edge. You can see what it will look like larger than our other two cards. So it just gives you some ideas, and then you'll pick your favorite, and that'll be the one that you make the most of probably. Sharon's doing hers a little different. I can't wait to see. Sharon always, it just seems like her cards have this artistic flair to it that I'm always interested in. Hi, Kathy. Yes, I like the scalloped also. Oh, Jasmine, you're too kind. Okay, so these are the 3 cards using the Be Mine Designer Series paper and the Be Mine stamp set for the flowers. Okay, so let's look at some other examples. Now this one I've only got one of. I did not like it. I did not like it full size, and it actually was my first try at using the scalloped die. So these flowers here are from the Just My Type stamp set. The Designer Series paper is in the new mini catalog. It's the one with the children. It's the paper for the children. It's got a lot of brights in it. And then I used the brushed brass butterflies in the garden to go along. And I chose Cajun Craze because I thought it had more of a terracotta look, lending another color to the garden, just different tones and stuff. So there was that one. Perennial Lavender. I used the stamp that for my garden. Here's the 2 with the Perennial Lavender. Here is the stamp set that has the, where is it? I used this stamp right here and then the flowers right here. And I did the flowers in Gorgeous Grape, Bubble Bath, and Berry Burst, I think. So here's with the scalloped edge. Here's full size. I like them both, but you can see that I've got the same background layer, but look at how much more of it I can see on this one with my inside being smaller, and I totally love it a lot more than the full size. So I just want you to, you know, when we can visualize and see the difference, and a lot of times our mind's eye isn't what our project ends up being, but you learn a lot. You learn a lot that way. And I would totally still send out these cards here, but this one is definitely my favorite. So that was with the lavender. And then the Flight and Airy. This is a designer series paper that's with the birds. It's in the celebration. So here are these two, and the stamp is the Softly Sophisticated bundle that you can earn in celebration. So that's where my garden came from, were those flowers there. And then I just have the designer series paper, and then there's the inside. And then there is the back. And let's show the inside of, there's the inside for the lavender, and then the back for that one. And then the last one I did was the softly stippled designer series paper from Celebration. And I brought in the two-tone floral stamp set. So I used this group of flowers right here, and I used this leaf. Now the designer series paper that I chose to go with from that pack from Celebration didn't have a green in it. So I thought, let's get a little artsy and just use Pebbled Path for my leaf. So it's an unconventional color for a leaf, but it broadens our horizon, so to speak, when you see how you don't have to stick with traditional colors. You can stamp with anything that your color palette is, just put it in there. So here's the Pebbled Path leaves. I did go with the Calypso Coral for the flowers. No, Petal Pink for the flowers. Calypso Coral is the second step stamp to put in the detail for the center of the flowers. So I was just pulling colors that were already in my designer series paper. Here you see a lot more of the papers because it's a bigger, it's, you know, a bigger focal point, so you can see that there's more designer series paper there. And then I like this inside better. Like, kind of was stamping in the air on the other one. So here again, I just put some of my flowers down here in the corner, and then I just love this paper here for a background. This is like, if I was in a fabric store, if I was in a quilt shop and I saw this bolt of fabric, you can believe it's going in my stash as a backing for a quilt, because it's just absolutely gorgeous. You certainly could color these flowers. For me, I say why, because it's gorgeous alone. So let's look at all of our scalloped cards. just how different that they all turned out. Okay, so there's our scalloped cards. And now you can really see how different all the gardens look. It's just my favorite. I just cannot get away from that scallop die. Again, it's from the Color and Contour bundle. And then we have, let's take a look at our full-size quilts here. We got full-size, and then we've got the scalloped. Just so that you can see them too. I like them all, but I'm really partial to the scalloped edge. Okay, so I've made a lot of cards, and so I'm going to give 4 cards away. If you would type in the comments the sentiment for you, then it'll be probably Friday or Saturday that I pick 4 winners. I've got to really get my prepping done for card play. But I'll give away 4 cards that I made, and you'll have an example then if that's what you want to do, or if you want to pass it along to somebody else. I don't stamp on the inside because sometimes you want to wait and see what you're going to need to use the card for. So that is today's project, everybody. Here's the one that we made today. And then again, here's all of our scalloped edges. So I can't wait to see what you create, what stamp sets you pull. You might have some favorite stamp sets. It was hard for me not to go into my retired stamps, but when I do a live, I want to show things that you can buy if you're like, oh, I want that. But oh my goodness, I've got a lot of stamp sets I'm looking at right now that I could go and do so many different gardens, and then also pull out scraps of designer series paper and just mishmash it. Stay with the collection, do whatever you want to do, but please share a picture over in the group. It's called Quilt Cards and More. And you can get to it from the Chirpy page. There are a few questions to answer. I don't know if anybody noticed, but yesterday I had to block some creepers that they actually commented on my public page. But they were asking some of the followers some questions. And so I went in and I blocked the creepers. But the reason why I have you answer 3 questions. It's just kind of like a little bit of security. So when people ask to join the group, if I'm suspicious, believe me, I know how to creep a page to find out, because I want to weed out the scammers and anybody that's going to ask somebody what I think is inappropriate. Because they're just fishing, trying to get you to comment back to them. So I try to be very on top of those situations. And I think if I'm asking questions, maybe somebody will get in, but they'll expose themselves along the way. And then they'll get kicked out, blocked, never to come back. But those questions are there for a reason. I'm just trying to protect everybody in the group. So there'll be those questions, and then I look at them and approve those who want to join. And you'll be able to then see all the creativity that happens in this group. There's a lot of sharing that goes on in the group, which is so great. I have learned so much from being able to see what, gosh, my mind's eye just couldn't grasp it. But once I see it, it was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to remember that. I'm going to take note. I'm going to try that. So that's what's so great about having a community, is that we inspire each other and we take inspiration. So be sure to check that out. Again, card play starts tomorrow night. if you want to do an online retreat, you'll use whatever products you have yourselves. It's too late to send out a make and take packet in time for the retreat. However, I do have 4 make and take packets left that could still be sent to you. You're just not going to get them in time for the retreat, but you could go back and use that product with the PDF. So you can find that all on the Chirpy page. Everybody have a very blessed Thursday. Have a blessed weekend. My weekend's going to be so much fun with card play, and I can't wait to hop over into the group and see what you created today. So with that, I'm going to let you go, and we'll be hanging out over in the group. Talk to you later. Bye.